let's get into these player ratings. Sunderland 1, Tottenham 0. And first up, we are going to look at Antonin Kinski. 6 from me, 7 from you. You guys have given him a 6.6. It says 0 there. I'm not sure why, but look, I think he did everything well. Fairly quiet day. One really big save. Ball playing ability was fantastic. Yeah, the only reason I didn't give him higher than a 6 is because he only made one real good save throughout the game. But look, to be fair to him, I think it showed real big mentality to have this start on the back of that Atletico game where he got taken off after 20 minutes. Really good mentality to come back and show a really strong showing.
Yeah, I thought, fair play to him. Solid game, solid performance. I really appreciated the fact that he didn't allow kind of that Atletico game to affect him too much. I thought he had a really solid showing, good passing out the back, some really good sweeps out wide to Porro especially. Played quite confidently. Also think he put in his head where it hurts. Just after having that collision with Romero, so showing his bravery as well. Couldn't do anything with the goal. I made a really good save from Robbie. So yeah, solid game. And also there was a moment, was there a free kick? He had to tip over the bar, which was dangerous. So fair play to him. Yeah, gave him a 7. Probably our best player.
Yeah, definitely our best player. Next up, Pedro Porro. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 4. I thought he struggled on the right hand side, to be honest, to deal with Lefay. But he was one of the only ones, trying to spam those crosses in, trying to create something. Had 2 shots on goal during the game as well. And I think that one in stoppage time was actually a really good effort that was tipped over by Robin Roofs. I think it was going in and we got a corner out of it. And I think that was at closest we got to scoring. In terms of shots on goal, every effort was just so tame. And that was the only one that actually had a bit of venom in the shot.
Yeah, decent effort. Obviously, he had one right in the first minute, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which was a decent effort, but was fairly comfortably saved by Roofs. I think that he did this beautiful switch to Richarlison. I think it was in the second half, didn't he? With Richarlison into space, which was a tame effort from the team, but that was quite nice from Porro. But he did really frustrate as well. He had that corner in the stoppage time, which ballooned into Rosed, didn't it? That was a very frustrating moment, and defensively struggled at times. I thought he was probably one of our better players from outfield, but still wasn't great.
Yeah. You guys have given Pedro Porro a 4.3. Next up is Cuti Romero. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 6. Obviously, it looks like he might have suffered a season-ending injury, potentially a World Cup-ending injury, but we don't know. He's going to have a scan later on today. But look, I thought his battle with Brian Brobby, I thought he was doing very well in, very aggressive up against him. He won some really good challenges at the back, and he was trying to play out the back and trying to use his ball-playing ability to our advantage. I thought he was having an okay game up until the time he got taken off.
I agree. I thought the yellow card was harsh to me. I thought he got the ball, so I didn't think he should have been booked. And also, I thought Robbie was late challenge on him once. Should have been a yellow for that. Obviously, Robbie should have been booked for pushing him in the back. So I thought he was really in a battle there. I thought he was doing all right. Did the shot deflect off him, or was it Van der Ven?
Van der Ven.
It was Van der Ven. Look, I thought he was having a good game. I think some of his passes was brilliant, as per usual. He was one of the ones setting the tone on the ball. It wasn't a perfect game, but I thought he was playing all right before getting the injury. And let's just really hope it's not serious, because if we miss Romero from now to the end of the season, I don't know how we're going to do. I think that's another nail in the coffin for me of us going down if Romero's out. I know some people would argue, he's not been good anyway and Danso's better, but for me, I don't know if Danso's good enough in the situation we're in. We need real quality like Romero gives us, and if without him, I think it makes the job even harder for me.
Yeah, probably right. You guys have given him a 3.8, Cuti Romero yesterday. Next up is Mickey Van der Ven. 5s all round for Mickey. I thought he struggled with the physical battle at times yesterday, but he did make a couple of challenges that were bang on the money. He just doesn't seem to be the Mickey of the first half of the season. You can see there's definitely, he's feeling a bit sorry for himself, and at the end of the game, it looked like he was crying.
Yeah. Didn't think it was his best game either. Again, another player who I thought was harshly booked. I didn't think I was booking on Robbie. Another decision which was frustrating. I think a couple of moments where he was trying to take charge on the ball, especially when Romero went off. He was trying to be like that senior player, but he just doesn't have the passing of Romero, unfortunately. He wasn't able to play through the lines like Kuti can. He tried a couple of times to run instead, but ended up getting fouled, and we didn't end up progressing the ball too much. But I thought it was a pretty quiet game for him, to be honest, in general. Didn't think it was his best game.
You guys have given Mickey van der Ven a 3.4. Next up is Destiny Doggy. I gave him a 4. You gave him a 3. He was providing decent width for us in the first half, and I thought he got down to the byline and was able to be involved in a couple of attacks in the first half. Obviously, it looked like he was through on goal and got hacked down, and the referee just didn't do anything about it. Ridiculous. I thought where he really let us down was when we went 1-0 down. For those last half an hour, I thought he was absolutely atrocious. He was panicking in possession, consistently giving the ball away. He was so poor for those last half an hour. But I thought for the first hour, he was okay.
Yeah, I think it was a really poor game from him, to be honest. Especially his delivery in the final third was so bad. He got into a few really promising positions. He seemed to be playing a bit more of an inverted role, like back in the Ange days. It seemed quite similar to that kind of role than he was playing under Thomas Frank. But when he did ever get into the final third, his delivery was so bad, really lacked quality. Especially, as you say, in that final half an hour, he was panicking. There was that one moment he kind of played a blind pass from the left into the centre of the pitch. And literally, there's like 3 Sunderland players around the ball, like not near one Tottenham player. It was such a bad pass and really put us under pressure. Did get unlucky with that moment, as you say. I don't understand what the referee's seeing. He gets clotheslined with the elbow to his neck, and he gets tripped to the back of his calf as well. And he's ahead of the Sunderland defender. Yeah, nothing given. I don't know how much more of a foul it needs to be for the referee to blow up in that situation. So that was what was actually interesting in that moment. Actually, is literally about 20-30 seconds before that moment, I see De Zerbi having a conversation with the doggy about something. I'm guessing about position or something. And 30 seconds later, he's in that position and Gray dinks that ball over the top. So clearly that was something that I think he told him to do. So it's really annoying that it looks like it would have been something that would have come off, and then he gets brought down and then nothing given, and we don't seem to see that again. So that was really annoying.
So you guys gave a doggy a 4.2. Next up is Archie Gray. 4 from me, 3 from Sim. I thought in the first half, he was trying to be that anchor in midfield, and I thought he was doing a decent job spraying the ball. And, I thought we were doing all right in the middle of the park up until the second half. Second half, I thought he was completely anonymous. He did have that nice ball over the top to Destiny Doggy, but I thought in the first half, he was there trying to stand up and be counted for it. I thought he was all right in the first half, but it just went from bad to worse in the second.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was really poor in general. That's just my feeling. I didn't think he was anywhere near as kind of involved as he has been in previous games. I think he was I think the midfield, I think Xhaka and who else in the midfield? It was Xhaka and I can't remember who else, but I think they were on top for a lot of it, and they were winning those battles. I think Gray just wasn't getting on the ball that much. He really struggled to get involved. Yeah, he had that one nice ball to a doggy, but other than that, I wasn't so impressed, unfortunately. He's been probably our best player for a while, but this game, I think he really struggled.
You guys gave him a 4.6. Next up is Conor Gallagher. 3s all round for Conor. Gave the ball away really cheaply in the first half on the edge of the box, which could have resulted in the Sunderland goal. Again, I thought first half it was a bit of a better display from Gallagher than it has been. I mean, we're talking about bottom of the barrel shit here. So in the first half, I thought maybe he put in a 5 out of 10. But then in the second half, oh my God, he was just so woeful. Provided nothing for the team, kept giving the ball away, headless chicken in the middle of the park, contributed nothing to the team. This has got to go down as one of the worst signings we've ever made. Seriously, like, when you consider the money that we paid for him, the wages that he's on, he hasn't had a good display for us since signing him. Like, the guy has been just so woeful. I don't know what he brings to the team. Literally, what does he bring to the team? And his closing down for the goal as well. atrocious.
Yeah, I don't know why we signed this guy. We questioned. I mean, at the time, we were like, okay, maybe if he's an upgrade on what we have,
But he's
it
not.
makes sense. But he's not. He really isn't. I'd honestly much rather other players in that position than Gallagher. He's really offering very, very little at the moment, and I'm really struggling to see what he brings, as you say. Like, I thought this was going to be a guy full of endeavour, full of energy, you know, putting challenges in with a little bit of quality on the ball. But no, I haven't seen any of that. He doesn't make the tackles, doesn't make the challenges. He has no quality. There's no progressive passing, no shots. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was terrible in this game, to be honest. And I think surely he's got another level to go up, because this can't be the best he's got. He's got to show for himself. Can it? Can it?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Next up is Kolo Muani. 3 from me, 4 from you. I mean, this guy was pissing me off so much because he was just getting the ball and just trying to do everything himself. And we've seen this so many times from Muani, and ultimately he just ends up losing the ball time and time again. He's not a winger. I think it's proven he's not a winger. He's not good on the wing. I don't think he's ever put in a good display on the wing. Potentially, obviously he won the penalty, but I think like he was trying to buy it anyway. He was going down so early, and I think that was a big reason why the referee didn't give it anyway, because it looked like he was just trying to buy the penalty. He was given a handball against him when it hit his head. So I mean, look, the guy was actually trying, and he was full of running, but the quality was just so low, man.
Yeah. I also don't like his dribbling style when he's on that side. He just seems to try basically push the ball in front of him and think he's Gareth Bale and thinks he can just push it into space and outrun anyone. And he struggled to make that work, unfortunately. Look, I thought probably our brightest spark in the front three, but the bar is so low, it's hard to give him any praise for that. Late in the game, he was probably crossing the ball in a bit and trying to force something, but so many times he's running with his head down, and like there are better options there, and he doesn't kind of look up and find a teammate a lot of the time, and he runs down blind alleys and gets tackled a lot. Very frustrating. But as you say, I thought he was trying to make something happen, but unfortunately just wasn't able to.
Yeah. 3.5 you guys give Kolo Muani. Next up is Lucas Bergvall. 3s all round for Lucas. I mean, the amount of times this guy was losing the ball in the centre of the park when we're looking to build up attacks was just so frustrating, man. Always trying things, which is a positive, but it was rarely coming off. So weak in the duel as well. It was just a really poor display. You know, before the game, in the build-up to the game, he says, I'm now ready to play 90 minutes. But it doesn't look like he is, because I thought he just put in a shocker, real big shocker.
Yeah, he looked completely out of his depth in that position, to be honest. I don't remember anything he did, to be honest. He looked I refuse to believe Xavi would have put in a worse performance from the start than what... I think Xavi did just as much in 5 minutes as Bergvall did for the hour he was on. Didn't understand the decision to start him there, and he looked completely out of sorts. It wasn't a good display from him. Struggled to hold on to the ball, struggled to do like any sort of quick decision making. I think it's going to be a bit of a process with him, under Zerbi, but I think yesterday was a very bad start.
Yeah, 3.4 you guys have given him. Next up is Richarlison. I've given him a 4. Sim's given him a 3. I give a bit of credit to Richarlison because I do think he was fighting. There were moments where he was able to take it past the fullback, but the reality was the quality in the final third in his end product was really poor. He had a couple of shots on the day, but it was just like such tame efforts. So easy for Robin Roofs to deal with his efforts, but at least he was having some, which is, you can't say that about anyone else, really.
Yeah, I didn't like him on the left. I don't know why we didn't start Tell for me. Not that Tell did any better, which we'll get onto, but I thought Richarlison... The annoying thing is there was a couple of moments he did get into really good positions, and he had the efforts were so tame. It was so frustrating to see, because those were the 2 really promising moments. There was one moment where he was really battling on the left-hand side. He got past the defender, got in behind, and then just like ran out of energy and ended up putting it out of play. That was a really frustrating moment as well from Rishi. So, yeah, I think he lacked much threat, to be honest. I think he tried hard, a lot of running, But I think with his current fitness issues, I think, like, you know, he's struggled with those fitness for so long. I don't know if he can play that role off the left, like to as high abilities he used to play.
But this is what I was saying, right? This is why we should be playing a 3-5-2. Don't play with wingers. We don't have wingers. Play with Richarlison and Solanke up front, or play with Richarlison and Mawani up front. You know, go for two strikers.
The only reason I would say you know, you can stick with the 4-2-3-1, but you have to play Tell, and he didn't.
Tell with who though? Who goes on the right?
Just play Mawani there, but I don't.
He's terrible there as well.
I understand that. I'm just saying if you were going to play this formation, you had to start Tell.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. So Richarlison, you guys have given him a 4.2. Next up is Dominic Solanke. 3s all round for Solanke. This guy, I mean, Solanke, for the past 4 or 5 games has been abysmal. He really has been abysmal. He had that one chance at the end of the first half where he's got to put that in the back of the net from point-blank range. But apart from that, what was he doing? He was anonymous. I forgot he was on the pitch half the time. Like, he did not impact that game in any stretch of the imagination. No hold-up play, no real presence up top, no efforts on goal apart from that one chance. Like, what did he do?
He was just fouling their centre-backs.
That's all he was doing.
That's all he was doing. Yeah, pretty anonymous display. Even the chance he had, it was just a bit of luck, wasn't it? A bad mistake from the Sunderland defender. Yeah. And it just fell to him, and he couldn't capitalise on it. He was not involved in anything. There was no combinations at all. I don't know whether he was marked out the game or whatever it was. He was isolated, but he was just anonymous. Couldn't get him involved at all. And one of his worst displays, I would say.
Yeah, you guys give him a 2.4. Mm-hmm. Next up, Kevin Danso, who came on with half an hour to go for the injured Romero. I gave him a 5, you gave him a 4. Look, I mean, he was just there, wasn't he? Propped in defence, and Sunderland didn't have that much after that. After when he came on, I thought it was okay. Not really much to report.
I actually thought he struggled more to deal with Robbie than Romero did.
So?
Yeah, I think he did, in my opinion. I thought Robbie was holding up the ball more when Danso was on, but he did okay. I don't think he did anything too wrong. Obviously, the onus was on us to score a bit more when he was on, so he did have a bit more of the ball, especially late on. But yeah, I thought Sunderland were able to kind of sustain a bit more when he was there, unfortunately.
Yeah, you guys giving him a 4.1. João Palhinha, 5 from me, 4 from you. Didn't really add anything to the game. I just don't understand why you bring on a João Palhinha at 1-0 down.
I think the thinking was win more duels, have the ball more, but he kept playing the ball out of play. He can't bloody pass, so that doesn't help. Didn't think it was a great cameo from him.
Next up is Javi Simmons, 4s all round. I mean, he came on with 5 minutes left, but I guess there was 11 minutes of stoppage time as well, but a couple of moments on the ball, but he rarely got on the ball.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit too little too late. What I do like about Xavi, as per usual, he is a positive player. He likes to look forward at every opportunity. He likes to always look, where can I pass it forward first? And that's what he was doing, but unfortunately, just wasn't enough time on the pitch.
Yep. Next up is Matisse Tell. 4s all round for Matisse. Came on the left-hand side for Richarlison, and yeah, he had no impact whatsoever, really. He got the ball a couple of times. It felt like he just lost the ball every time he got it.
Yeah, it was a bad cameo, I have to say. As a big fan of Tell, I think he really struggled on this occasion. He did win one free kick, and what I liked about him, at the very least, is every time he got the ball, he was trying to take someone on and trying to be positive. But unfortunately, it was a bad cameo. No two ways about it. He really struggled, and he did lose the ball a lot. And there were a lot of fans around me getting visibly frustrated with him losing the ball.
And last but not least, Pat Mate Sarr. I gave him a 5, you gave him a 4. 3.1 from you guys. And yeah, look, I don't know what he did. Ran around a little bit, and that's about it.
Yeah, came on and played number 10 like he had done earlier in the season, which was a bit peculiar when you got Xavi on the bench. Obviously, he moved back to the number 8 later on, and Xavi moved forward. Didn't like him in that position. Did a bit better, I thought, when he was in a bit deeper. But yeah, I don't think he impacted the game that at all, really.
And last but not least, Roberto De Zerbi. I'm going to give him a 2. Like, I thought it was shocking. I thought the starting lineup was shocking. I thought his changes throughout the game was shocking. Didn't see anything that I thought I would see from De Zerbi. Look, got to give him a bit of grace because it's his first game. He hasn't been here for too long, and he's been put in a terrible situation. But you got to rate on what you've seen, and I saw nothing.
Yeah, I'll probably give him a 3. I think for the first hour there was some like elements of De Zerbi ball, but not enough really to get excited about. You know, maybe if this was 15 games to go rather than 6, you could say, okay, we keep working at this, we'll get somewhere. But unfortunately, we don't have time. That's the reality. I thought for the last half an hour we completely lost our way and we panicked. Any sort of like combination player, anything we were trying to do was out the window in that last half an hour, and we all of a sudden went from a team that were keeping the ball fairly well to a team that just treating it like a hot potato and like just giving away constantly. I thought his changes were peculiar and didn't help the situation. And at the end of the day, we just didn't look threatening enough. That's just reality.
Yeah. So that is the player ratings for the 1-0 defeat to Sunderland.